have this idea for Underworld. Like, I'm thinking that there needs to be another group of newly mutated species, basically. Like, somebody has a weird mutation over time with the virus, and it's like, you know, bitten by bat and bitten by vampire. But I was thinking, you know, you have other groups of animals that are very similar. You know, you don't want to go too big necessarily. I mean, you can maybe do something with bears at some point down the series as like another gothic group of animals of like super huge werewolf-like creatures, but that are just physically stupidly built, but not as tough as a werewolf per pound. You know what I mean? And then, but I'm also thinking though, you got like the honey badgers and the werewolves. You can have like a zombie, basically. Or no, the honey badgers and wolverines, you know, or something like that. You can pick one of those, and that's, you know, bitten by, you know, Wolverine. You know what I mean? And just like those are zombies. And then the bears will be, you know, some sort of. I'm trying to think like what would be like a gothic equivalent. You could do. I'm trying to think. You could call them berserkers. You know. Or you can call them, you know, you can have different mythological creatures that are mutations over the series. Make Underworld like, you know, 10 movies, and, you know, Selene and her offspring have to conquer it or something, or fix it. And, you know, that way, you know, the werewolves get to see, like, if you have zombies and they're based on the Wolverine, you know, they're just not as physically good as the werewolves or as tough as the werewolves, but they're more vicious, if that makes sense. That they come at you way worse, like they're just crazy rabid creatures, even worse than werewolves. Like, the only thing that they think about is killing, that they don't even take breaks, which is kind of what werewolves can do. And they, you know, like they've been kind of doing, but it's gonna, you know, make it like way worse. I'm talking like they only have to like touch you and then you get the virus, you know what I'm saying? Something crazy like that. Like, it would be like if they even touch you, they could administer it, or if they scratch you, they could administer it. You know, they don't have to just bite you. You know, and then, you know, they have to stay away from them, and they touch you, then you get mutated into a partial zombie hybrid, but like you lose your powers and become unstable. That would be cool as shit. You know, you'll still be powerful. Some of them might be able to take, you know, the zombie, the zombie morphing, and, you know, maybe somebody has a weird, unique mutation where they become extremely vigorous with the same powers of, you know, werewolves and vampires if they're a hybrid or just individual. You know, some people might do well with it and they become extremely vigorous, meaning like savage. You know what I mean? Like they can do more stuff and like they're willing to, kind of thing. But like, you know, the werewolves will be tougher and better under pain and pressure. You know, like those are like the juggernauts, you know, the physical, freaky, you know, animals, you know, beasts. And then, you know, the vampires are the skilled, cunning, you know, sexy looking creatures, you know, where the werewolves are more rugged and, you know, hairy and handsome, you know what I mean? And then you got like, you know, then you got like the berserkers, and then you can have like sirens, you know what I mean? Like ones that live in the water and are trying to have like their own, you know, civilization in the water of some type, or, you know, something like that. I'm trying to think of, you know, the gothic equivalent. You know, if you're going towards mammals, they can be based on dolphins, you know what I'm saying? You know, they got bit by dolphins, you know, and mutated. Or an orca, you know what I mean? Since it's black and white, you can keep it gothic, like, and just have different stuff. Like, at least zombies, you know, or, you know, like I said, you can even do like bears. You know, you could do bears even if you wanted to. Bears going to, what the hell? Bears going to, fucking, berserkers and shit, and zombies, and, you know, like, you can call them zombies, but they're like, kind of like the berserker lore, if that makes sense. They turn in like giant bear-like beasts, you know, that walk around and shit, that look kind of like werewolves, but they're huge, you know, and they have different features, like they're bulkier and they're even more physically superior and more wild than a werewolf. And like, you know, you can make it wild to where like if they touch you and shit, like, you know, but I think like you know, that would make it extremely difficult, and, you know, but they'd have to like develop really wild weapons, and you can make it like it's like the apocalypse if you want, you know, but you know, if you do it with the bitten by honey badger or Wolverine, I think bitten by Wolverine would be cool, you know. Then you have like the sirens, and you know, or something like that underwater. You have, you know, in at least one movie, you know, you can have, what else, like, you can even have them with like Frankenstein's, you know what I'm saying, like bitten by person, you know what I mean, if a person ends up biting you, you know, like instead of just an animal, it could be a person. He was bitten by another person or something, maybe, you know, and you have like your Frankensteins and your zombies and your Draculas, you know, vampires and your werewolves, you know, based on those type of legends together. You know, the Mummy, you know what I'm trying to say? You could do the Mummy. Trying to think what you could do for that, you know. Maybe that would be the one for Wolverine, since they, you know, dig, or weasels and they dig in the ground. You could do wild shit like that. Bitten by bat, bitten by bear, bitten by Wolverine, so that there's 4 houses, you know, 4 groups, clans, races. You know, you can do, I really want, like I said,